I was just praying to Lord Jagannath, and he told me about his divine experience that he was praying to Lord Jagannath, and the very next day his desire was fulfilled. And he was saying such a miracles I have seen with Lord Jagannath, how Jagannath reciprocates the feeling of his devotees. And I mean, I of course we didn't have the time to ask him more into the details, but it's so nice, isn't it, when we hear from other devotees like how they have been, the desires have been fulfilled by Lord Jagannath. He was telling, like, 4 years back, he came to pull Lord Jagannath's chariot, and he said the very next day his desires got fulfilled. Of course, like, it's a yoga ladder. Yeah, slowly we progress from having material desires to spiritual desires, and then totally we are only working towards pleasing Krishna. But yeah, it's so nice to hear about leelas from the devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Prabhu.
I'm sorry, I just got out from the train.
I was just about to ask, like, you're busy, you're working, you're going to London, and in spite of that, you took time to join. That's so beautiful.
Can't miss your
association, Prabhu. Last week, I think we missed. But yeah, Nagaraj Prabhu and myself, we were just together in Jagannath Rath Yatra. Somehow, Nagaraj Prabhu, we missed Amoga Prabhuji. I believe Prabhuji was there, and we missed him. But maybe next time.
Yeah, I was with the family, Prabhuji, so just going quickly from chariots to the prasadam there.
Yes, it's very difficult because it's so much, so many people are there, so it's very difficult to just immediately connect with all the devotees. We've seen Godruma Prabhu, we've seen some of our devotees, but yeah, it's difficult to. Yeah. I was just thinking, maybe we can just do Mangalacharya. Sorry, Prabhu, are you comfortable with Mangalacharya? Have you done?
I can do it, Prabhu. This
Yeah.
what about the only thing is that I'm driving, Prabhu, and I've got another few minutes to go.
Oh, okay.
I can do it from the car, but I'm not sure whether the sound will come clearly or not.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. If you're comfortable, you can, Prabhuji. Otherwise, so we can.
If someone else can do it, Prabhuji, I've got another 5 minutes to go.
Okay, no problem.
Fully participate. I'm so sorry, Prabhuji.
Sure, no problem at all, Prabhuji. We are all devotees helping each other. Amaga Prabhuji, did you say something?
Vijay Krishna Prabhuji can also do that.
Yeah, Vijay
If
Krishna
Prabhuji is happy.
Would you be able to do the Mangala Sharan?
Yes. I'm sorry, Prabhu, your name?
Sham. I think I should change from Kutir to this one.
Yes, Sham Prabhu. I can do Mangala Charan.
Okay, yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Please, if you can do that, then that will be great. I'm going to just change my name here, so it's very clear to. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Yes, and thank you, Amoga Prabhu, for the invitation. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Shakshuru Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Spapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun. No, this is not the tune. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Sorry?
Yeah, no, go ahead, Prabhuji. No problem.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raguna Tanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Chan. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi pranamami Hari Priye. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, can you hear us? Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, you can hear us, right, Prabhuji? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. You're done, right, Prabhuji? Sorry, maybe the audio is not so great.
Yes, I finished Mangalacharan.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gayatri ji. Hare Krishna, Sanchita ji. Hare Krishna, Nisha ji. Thank you for joining us.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you for joining
Hare
us.
Krishna Prabhu, Dhanyavad Pranam to all the devotees.
I'm so happy to see all of you, and it's such a joy. Every Thursday we look forward to, isn't it? For all of our devotees to come together on this platform. And I was just talking to Amaga Prabhu, like, how, and Nrga Prabhu, how joyful it was last week, last Sunday, when we joined for the Rath Yatra, to see all of our devotees coming there, and such a joy to be part of the Rath Yatra. And I was just reflecting on how merciful Krishna is, right? That not only that Krishna comes personally on this planet, and not only he comes in different incarnations, and not only that he comes together again as a devotee as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and not only that he sends his most purest devotee like Srila Prabhupada to the Western countries to preach about Krishna. And not only that, he comes on the Jagannath Rathya as Jagannath on the Rath Yatra, giving darshan to everyone. So because in this material world, there are so many people are covered by the different gunas of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And those people are atheists who do not believe in God. They may not be able to approach Krishna. Like if you go to Puri, you cannot, the foreigners or people from other countries, Western countries, they're not allowed to go into the temple. But Krishna is so kind and merciful that he's coming out and giving his darshan. I mean, and the most amazing thing is the Mola avatar, is the Mola Vigraha, where the main deity of Lord Jagannath himself comes on the chariot. In many of the temples, we find that the Mola Vigraha stays as it is, but it's only the Utsava Vigraha, which actually is taken, on the palanquin and taking around, like it happens even in Tirupati, right? They take a beautiful deity of Krishna, Lord Venkateshwara, and then take him on a palanquin. But the main Mola Murti, Vigraha stays as it is. But here in this case, in Puri Jagannath, the main deity of Krishna himself sits on a chariot and is giving darshan to everyone. So we can imagine how much merciful, not only that, he's giving darshan with his attractive chariot and his darshan, he's giving darshan to all the people who never had a chance to even understand who Krishna is. And I remember on Sunday when we were just passing by, I could overhear so many people who passing by, visitors, they're asking, oh, who is this God? What is this festival about? And there's so much purity, and everybody, even though they may not know Krishna, they could just have a glance at Krishna. And even having that glance of Krishna is enough that in the next birth, they could be having a human life. Or that could be, that is like planting a seed in the heart, that once they haven't had a glance of Krishna, there's every possibility that they could be coming to the temple or they could be meeting a devotee, because the seed is already planted in their heart. So like that, Krishna says, Neha Bikramanasosti Prachavayo Vidyate Swalpam Abhyasya Dharmasya. Even if you do a little bit of service for Krishna, Krishna becomes very pleased. So on the day of Lord Jagannath, where maybe many people do not understand the significance of what this chariot festival is all about, but even if somebody is pulling the rope just out of fun, out of just curiosity, even they will be delivered because they're pulling the chariot and because they had done a little bit of service. Swalpam Abhyasya Dharmasya. Even if a little bit of service, Krishna becomes so pleased that he reciprocates the feeling. So it's such a beautiful thing. I was just reflecting about that. I'm sure all of you would have your own realizations and wonderful thoughts about on the day of Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. And on Saturday, it was so beautiful to see Lord Jagannath going from manor, and Lord Jagannath was passing through the temple room. It was so beautiful to see Lord Jagannath taking in a car and both the devotees sitting on the other side. It was such a cute little affair to see Lord Krishna, Lord Jagannath sitting in the middle with the pujaris on either side, taking care of him and going there. I mean, so these leelas help us in developing personal love for Krishna. Otherwise, how will we get that bhava? How do we get that feelings for Krishna unless we know about the divine pastimes? So I just want to request if anyone can do the kirtan. Gayatri ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Please
Krishna.
accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I was just wanted to request if anyone would like to sing a quick kirtan before we dive into the Krishna book.
Okay, Prabhuji. I'll do the Jai Radha Madhava, Prabhuji.
Perfect. No problem. Sure. Let's do it.
Okay, Prabhuji. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana, Braja Jana Ranjana, Yashodanandana, Braja Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. That was wonderful, Gayatri ji. Thank you so much for that. Beautiful, a nice way to start our Thursday session. So beautiful. Very nice. Thank you for the session.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So with your permission, we will dive into the Krishna book reading as we always do. Let me just this. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Just give me a share. So I hope everybody can see this. Yeah. So can everybody's able to see this one? Yeah. The screen.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Krishna.
So as we always, before we start the Krishna Katha, we remind ourselves about how blissful and how auspicious it is to start the Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells us how auspicious it is to listen to Krishna Katha, where Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam, evam yo veti taktaha, chakudeham punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, Krishna is saying as in Bhagavad Gita that one who's listening to Krishna Katha, one who's listening to the divine leelas of Krishna, those devotees who are listening to Krishna Katha, towards the end of their life, they will not come back again into another body in this material world, but they will directly go to the supreme planet of Krishna, which is called as Krishna Loka. So it is the most highest benediction that Krishna is offering for his dearest devotees. And what can be more blissful than this, that from the last couple of years, we have been continuously reading the Krishna book, from the Krishna book, all the beautiful leelas, and we have covered up to 64 chapter. We are in 64 chapter from the Krishna book, and it is so divine. And I was just thinking about it. Why, at another level, why Krishna book is so important, why Krishna Katha is so important. Because if you see in this material world, we'll be able to develop, a mother develops love on her children because she knows that these children are mine. She knows that they are her children, her mine, my children. Similarly, within whether you take a relationship between a husband and a wife, or between any of these couples or anyone like that, you have so much of love because there is a sense of belonging. There is a sense of feeling that this person belongs to me. That is when you've had a sense of feeling that this is mine. You will never feel so possessive or in love with someone whom you do not know, but someone whom you care about, someone whom you love, you always have those loving feelings, isn't it? The most natural feeling is for a mother who's always thinking about her children. Wherever she is, she's always thinking about her children. Similarly, we can understand through the Krishna Katha, or we can develop this love for Krishna only when we develop this love for Krishna, that the Krishna is mine, that Krishna, I have a personal relationship with Krishna, this Krishna belongs to me. Only when we have that sense of belonging, we'll be able to develop love for Krishna. And this is very important, because unless we develop love for Krishna, how can we think of Krishna towards the end of life? And if you do, and how can we think of going back to Krishna Loka unless we think of Krishna towards the end of our life? And that is only possible if we practice thinking of Krishna throughout our life, right? And by listening to the Krishna Katha, it helps us in developing love for Krishna. It will help us in developing an idea about how great Krishna is, because we think about Krishna like many people, they may think that Krishna is another god. But when we understand from Bhagavad Gita, when we understand from Krishna Katha how great Krishna is and how loving Krishna is, there are 64 beautiful qualities of Krishna, right? 64 beautiful qualities of Krishna. All those beautiful qualities of Krishna are exhibited through the Krishna Katha. And only by going to the Krishna Katha, we will be able to relish the beautiful pastimes of Krishna. We will be able to relish. And only when we relish these beautiful pastimes of Krishna, we will be able to develop love for Krishna. So it is very, very important that Krishna Katha is very, very important. While we are chanting, while we are also reading Bhagavad Gita, it is also important that in parallel, we should always be listening to Krishna Katha, because this will help us in developing love for Krishna. This will help us in chanting more deeply with the feelings of love for Krishna. Otherwise, sometimes it can become very mechanical chanting, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But when we listen to this divine pastime, we remember how Krishna is going through this beautiful story of King Nrga. We've seen that how Nrga actually was cursed to become, he was a great king and he was cursed to become a lizard and in a well. And we can see that how Krishna is constantly reciprocating the feelings, that how Krishna, by just extending his hand to this king who became, to this lizard who was fallen in the well, the lizard got back its original form as a demigod. So like this, we can see that Krishna is so kind and merciful that by the touch of Krishna, even someone who's so badly cursed, like we seen it during the month of Damodara, right? Nalakuvera and Manigriva. They were just standing as Arjuna trees, but as soon as Krishna touched those two trees, they regained their original forms as two demigods and the sons of Kuvera. So like that, it is so imagine this, there is no difference between Krishna's form and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So if we are always in touch with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we will have the same kind of a touch of Krishna giving this touch to King Nrga, how he is able to get back from the curse of a lizard and get back his original form. So for the benefit of all the devotees, you know, like this, we started with the story of King Nrga, and we seen how the family members of Krishna went on a forest and they seen a big lizard. They were trying to help. They were not able to help. So they go back to Dwarka and tell Krishna, there is a well in which a lizard has fallen out. We have tried our best, but we were not able to save the lizard. Can you go and help? And then we see that how Krishna comes and he extends his hand, and as soon as Krishna extends his hand, the lizard gives up this form of a lizard and appears as an actual beautiful demigod from the heavenly planets. And then Krishna is asking this lizard about how he became a lizard, and then he goes on to explain about the past. And he explained about how he was at one time giving so much of charity and that he belonged to the Ikwaku dynasty, Raghurama dynasty, and how he was very much charitable and he was giving a lot of cows. And we've seen that at one point of time he gave so much of cows to one of the Brahmana. By mistake, he taken one of the cow from the cows he has already donated. He has already donated all the many cows to one of the devotee, one of the Brahmana, and by mistake, he taken one cow which has already been donated and given it to another Brahmana. And just because of that, he had to go through the stars, and then how he had to lose, he had to just transform in it, because he had to incur the displeasing of the Brahmana, because nothing can replace and nothing can undo these things. So it is a beautiful chapter which goes on to say that how important in those days the Brahmanas, they were so powerful that even for the fire sacrifices, they didn't have to have a matchbooks to light the fire. They would just recite mantras and imagine the fire used to happen. I mean, this is really amazing, isn't it? Can you imagine? Can we find Brahmanas like that in today's world, where they can recite mantras and they can ignite fire just like that? So we are talking about a different time, like Dwapara Yuga, where the Brahmanas, they were the roles and responsibilities were very clearly divided based on the gunas. So we as Krishna devotees, we always have to keep in mind that where Krishna says, Chaturvarnam Maya System Gunakarma Vibhagasha, that the 4 divisions of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras, they're based on gunas, not based on birth, on which family they have been born. So so the Brahmanas, they were so powerful that just by making them unhappy, that you could get cursed in so many ways. So Krishna is kind of like, through this chapter, he's kind of like setting an example that it is so important to respect the Brahmanas and to make sure how we have to perform our duty in the mood of serving the Brahmanas. And so we can see here, you can see the Brahmanas used to light the fire with not matches or any extent, but with the powerful mantras called as Arani. Can you imagine? This is amazing, isn't it? Even I was not aware of this. So one of the important moral of the story from this one is to say that if someone touches the Brahmana's property, then his whole family is ruined into 3 generations. And we also, even today, and a lot of these rituals are coming from Dwapara Yuga, right? So even today, even though a lot of the situations have changed, even as part of the ritual, we call the Brahmanas to do some puja, and after that we offer whatever the rice and the fruits and all those things we offer to the Brahmanas, isn't it? We give the money to the Brahmanas, because this is the ritual that has come to, because we want to please the Brahmana. Because if the Brahmana is pleased, it creates more auspiciousness to our family, to the home, and things like that. So this is a kind of ritual that has been set in present. It's coming from Dwapara Yuga and from different yugas also. So Lord Krishna is setting the expectation over here that how we should perform in this material world. While we are in this material world, we always have to respect the Brahmanas. So having said that, I just want to get started off. Hare Krishna Vrindavan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna and Hemalata ji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Can I ask everyone if we would like to just start off? We were just coming towards the end of the chapter where we're just trying to say the synopsis of what Krishna is trying to tell us over here. These words of Krishna are so precious. So can somebody would like to read?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Nisha ji.
Yeah. Starting from this, Lord Krishna continued, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Lord Krishna continued, if some foolish king who is puffed up by his wealth, prestige, and power wants to usurp a Brahmana's property, he should be understood to be clearing his path to hell. Sorry, Prabhuji. Once again, sorry. He doesn't know how much he has to suffer for such an unwise act. If someone takes away the property of a very liberal Brahmin who is encumbered by a large dependent family, then such a usurper is put into hell known as Kumpaka. Not only is he put into this hell, but his family members also have to accept such a miserable condition of life. A person who takes away a Brahmana's property, whether it was originally given by him or by someone else, is condemned to live for at least 60,000 years as a miserable insect in stool. Therefore, I instruct you, all my boys and relatives present here, do not even by mistake take the possession of a Brahmana and thereby pollute your whole family. If someone even wishes to possess such property, let alone attempts to take it away by force, the duration of his life will be reduced. He will be defeated by his enemies, and after being bereft of his royal position, when he give up his body, he will become a serpent giving trouble to all other living entities. My dear boys and relatives, I therefore advise you that even if a Brahmana becomes angry with you and calls you by ill names or curses you, still you should not retaliate. On the contrary, you should smile, tolerate him, and offer your respects to the Brahmana. You know very well that even I myself offer my obeisance to the Brahmanas with great respect 3 times daily. You should therefore follow my instruction and example. I shall not forgive anyone who does not follow them, and I shall punish him. You should learn from the example of King Nrga that even if someone unknowingly usurps the property of a Brahmana, he is put into a miserable condition of life. Thus, Lord Krishna, who is always engaged in purifying the conditioned living entities, gave instruction not only to his family members and inhabitants of Dwarka, but to all the members of human society. After this, the Lord entered his place. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the 64th chapter of Krishna, the story of King
Nrga.
Nrga. Sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nishaji. That was so wonderful, very nicely recited. It's very, very nice the way you have mentioned it. So this is actually, like as I said, Krishna is trying to set an example. The way I always look at it is, in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna Bhagavan tells us so many beautiful instructions. Many times people get baffled, like, oh my God, Bhagavad Gita is so much of high philosophy. We cannot understand this philosophy. Sometimes it bounces above my head, and how do I understand? Can I have some examples and things like that? People commonly ask such kind of things. But again, like I always mention, if you're reading Bhagavad Gita and if you're reading also Krishna Katha, you will be able to relate Krishna Katha and you will be able to understand Bhagavad Gita very nicely. And we will be able to relate what Krishna is actually, because whatever instruction Krishna is mentioning, we can find that the morals of whatever instructions are being given are being executed in Krishna Katha. And so Krishna is making it very, very clear. So many beautiful slokas that come to mind where Krishna is trying to give a practical demonstration of these things. And very, very important for us to understand is through the Krishna Katha, every Krishna Katha, every chapter of Krishna Katha is giving us some beautiful message for all of us to take, assimilate that message and absorb that message and take that instructions as part of our life. Like here in this case, we can see multiple things that you can be a demigod, but if you could be a person who's doing great charity, like this King Nrga, who was doing so much of charity, he was giving like 100,000 cows to the Brahmanas. Imagine, he's actually, if somebody talks about charity, then you can immediately remember King Nrga, because he was known for his charity. He was known for being somebody who's so charitable in his disposition. But in spite of that, what we can understand is that, like, even though the kings were executing, or the demigods were executing this beautiful, they're doing their dharma of taking care of the brahmanas, because brahmanas are not meant to be earning on their own. They're always depending on kshatriyas or someone to take care of them. So kshatriyas would give so many number of cows, and if they are young, they would give them all the kind of comfort, so that they don't need to worry about earning and things like. So it was the responsibility of the kshatriyas to take care of the brahmanas. And at the same time, the brahmanas, they are known to be so knowledgeable. They are meant to be learning the scriptures and giving advices and knowledge to the other sections of the society. So they were, the roles and responsibility very, very clear, but based on the gunas, not based on birth and in which family you are born into. So even though now people have, we converted it into caste system. But if you can read Bhagavad Gita, there is no question of caste system. It is based on gunas, based on the quality of work and what your natural disposition to a particular field of activity. And Krishna clearly mentions about what are the qualities that the Brahmanas have, what are the qualities of Kshatriya, like heroic qualities, and the Brahmanas are supposed to be peaceful, always absorbed in knowledge, and it's supposed to be like, very, very calm. So like that, they're very clear-cut distinction. But having said that, Krishna through Krishna Katha is giving us the knowledge, because many times, like for example, if you're going on a motorway, you may be a very nice person, but if you're crossing 80 or 100, 90 miles and 100 miles an hour, you could be a very nice person. But for all you know, there could be a CCTV could capture, and you could be getting a ticket, or you could finding a cop catching you. And when he catches you, he's going to fine you. And at that point of time, you may say, I'm a very nice person. It's just that I just crossed, instead of going 80, I went 100. So, but still he's going to give you a ticket. He's not going to look at whether you're a nice person or a bad person. You cross the law, you just went against the law, so you're going to be punished and you will be given a ticket. So similar, there are laws of nature. There are certain kind of scriptural injunctions, scriptural guidelines that have been given. And so Krishna, through the Leelas, he's kind of like giving us a set of direction to that. As long as we are living in this material world, when we listen to Krishna Katha, we can absorb what is the message coming from Krishna, so that we can be very, very careful in our lives, not to trespass certain areas. Like here, Krishna is mentioning that even if a foolish king is puffed up with the weapon, but if he is ever taking away anybody, this message from this Krishna Katha is giving that even you could be a very powerful king, but if you observe a Brahmana's property, if you take away a Brahmana's property, then you are only clearing your path to hell. So Krishna mentions very clearly, those in the mode of goodness, they go to the heavenly planets. Those who are more in the mode of Rajoguna, then they come to the earthly planets. Those who are in the mode of Tamoguna, they go into the animal kingdom. Like that, Krishna mentions. So like that, Krishna through Bhagavad Gita and Krishna Katha is enlightening us with so much of a knowledge, enlightening us with so many things, so that we can be very careful. Krishna is giving through the Leelas and his instructions so many beautiful things, so that, why is Krishna doing all this and giving us all these Leelas? Because we have a very, 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 very intimate relationship with Krishna. Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Mamai Vamsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Mana Shastra Indriyani Prakriti Stani Karshati. He says, all of us Jivatmas, we are part and parcel of the Supreme Paramatma. So we have a very beautiful relationship with Krishna, and that is the reason why Krishna is has left the Bhagavad Gita after he has given us the Bhagavad Gita, and he has also given us the Krishna Katha, so that while we are living in this material world, we are very careful about everything that we do in this material world, so that we avoid doing anything to displease the Brahmana, and that will help us, that will put us in a situation where we are going to a hell called Kumbhipaka. So even the planets, the hellish planets also, they've been given the names, right? Here in this case, it's Kumbhipaka is a place like, so anybody who takes away the property of a Brahmana, and he's put into a hell called Kumbhipaka. So there are different kind of places where people are put depending on what kind of a sinful thing that he has done. So this is something to be avoided. And not only that, he's mentioned, Krishna has very clearly mentioned that person who has done something like that, he'll be condemned to live for at least 60,000 years as a miserable insect in stool. Can you imagine what a plight it is? So many times when somebody is suffering in this material world, we take a lot of pity on them, right? Isn't it? We'll think like, oh my God, this person is suffering, he's so handicapped, or somebody is not able to see, somebody is not able to hear. Why are all these happening? Because of some sinful reactions from his previous life, some prarabdha karma, he's suffering in this life. So by listening to Krishna Katha, we can be very careful, because if we are suffering something because of our prarabdha karma, then we can clearly understand that whatever we are doing now, it has got an implication for our next life. We are already paying the foundation for our next life. So if we can be careful by listening to Krishna Katha, a lot of people, they don't understand. They think like, oh, why are we listening to Krishna Katha now? You can do it when you're at age of 80. No, but Krishna Katha is meant for us to understand and listen, so that we can take the moral of the story and live our life according to the direction set by Krishna. And so here it is very mentioned that anybody who takes away the possession of the Brahmanas, his life will be reduced, he will be defeated by his enemies, and he will be losing his royal position. And not only that, he will, when he gives up his body, he will come back. His next life, he will be born as a serpent and giving trouble to other living entities. So we can see that, when somebody is, when they're dying at a young age, we see that happening. In fact, not that we want to be judgmental about anyone. You can reflect in our own life, right? All of us, we would have lost somebody at a very young age. In fact, I lost my classmate a couple of years back, and he was fair, and he was very, very healthy, and fit, but still he passed away, even though he didn't have any problem at all. So, but we never know. It could be because of certain sinful reactions that he must have been suffering, or the duration of life being reduced, or if somebody is being defeated by enemies, we keep wondering like, why is such a nice person being defeated? But it could be because of his prarabdha karma, because of something he has done in his previous life, something like this. Or somebody who's in a royal position. We've seen that, right? In the royal position, sometimes they lose their titles, and they're taken away from their positions and things like that. So it's all happening because of prarabdha karma, because of something which they have done in their previous life. So here, Krishna is setting a precedent, and he's kind of setting an example and just trying to tell through the life of King Nrga that to all his boys and relatives, because Krishna had a big family, right? He has 116,000 princes, and each of them had 10 children. So you can imagine such a Dwarka must be like so many people. And he's saying like, so he's trying to make it very clear that even if a Brahmana becomes angry with you and he calls you by the name and you curses, you should not retaliate. Just learn to tolerate them. And again, like as I said, Krishna Katha can be linked with Bhagavad Gita. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Matra sparsastu kaunteya shito sasukha dukkada agama nitya stam titiksa swabharata. Arjuna, this non-permanent or the temporary appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course of time, Arjuna, they're just like the summer and winter season. And they come and go. Happiness and distress, they're just like summer and winter season. They come and go, Arjuna, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So you see that particular sloka which Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, you can apply it here, that Krishna is telling that even if a Brahmana becomes angry with you, learn to tolerate them. In fact, Krishna in Bhakti Yoga, chapter number 12, he gives 36 beautiful qualities that he loves to see in his devotees. Advesta sarva bhutana maitra karuna yevacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukka sukashami santusta satatam yogi yatatma dridhanishtayaha mayarpito mano buddhi yomad bhakta same priyaha. The list of all the qualities: one who's not envious, one who's friendly to all the living entities, So we should learn to be not to be envious of anyone, including the Brahmanas. You should never be egoistic about that. You should never think yourself as a proprietor. You should be free from false ego, because most of the sinful things we do because of ego. If let's say if a Brahmana comes and gets angry, and in today's world, you can get very angry and say like, oh, how you're a Brahmana and how dare you come and talk to me like that? So like, because of that false ego, you could be saying something to the Brahmana which is causing you to the sinful reaction. And in that list of all the beautiful qualities, Krishna says one of the qualities that is likes in his devotees, someone who can learn to tolerate. So that tolerate, which one of the qualities that Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, that he likes to see in his devotee, is mentioned over here. That you should just on the contrary, you should learn to smile and you should learn to tolerate and offer your respect to the Brahmanas. So this is our lesson for today's lessons learned. Like in when I used to work, in my previous companies, and many times when we work as IT project manager, one of the things we are asked is like, end of the project, we are asked to create a document called lessons learned. From the project, can you please write down a document saying, what are the lessons that you learned from this project? What are the do's and don'ts? What is it that you would not repeat in the next project, or what are the things that I take away? So like that, I used to write a lessons learned document. So like that, from every Krishna Katha, we can note down what are the lessons that we can learn from this Krishna Katha. What are the things that we can learn, that even a great king can have a miserable life, could be cursed to become a miserable life as a lizard. And even somebody who can curse, do anything to upset the Brahmanas, who could have a miserable life, that could be born as a lizard or could be born as an insect, and your life could be reduced. All these things can happen by disrespecting a Brahmanas. So here, Krishna is making it very clear, giving his instruction not only in Bhagavad Gita, but a practical demonstration in Krishna Katha. Over there, in Bhagavad Gita is giving instructions, and here is giving a practical demonstration by personally creating these leelas and telling all his family members as well as everyone, my children, please, because I love you so much, I'm trying to tell you this. Be very careful. As long as you're living in this material world, offer your respect to the Brahmanas. If the Brahmana is getting angry, learn to tolerate with them. Just smile with them. Sorry, Brahmana, I didn't know about it. You offer your obeisances. And we as Krishna devotees, as aspiring Krishna devotees, we shouldn't say like even devotees, aspiring Krishna devotees, we should learn this lesson that when we come across Vaishnavas, when we are serving together Krishna's devotees, there could be many times where we could find a bit of discomfort. But I think from time to time, we should learn to just tolerate them and just offer our obeisances. Sorry, Prabhuji, or sorry, Mataji, I didn't mean to that. And just kind of like explain and just tell them and just move on, rather than just causing any displeasure. As long as we humbly submit ourselves, saying, sorry, by mistake or by foolishness, I have just done something, please, or ask you for for forgiveness, like that, you can just offer. So not only to the Brahmanas, but even when we come across Krishna devotees, our Vaishnavas, we should apply the same thing, that we should offer our obeisance and just make sure. And Krishna is setting an example that when he was there, he was offering his pranams to the Brahmanas 3 times every day. So we can see that Krishna himself is setting an instruction and an example. And he's saying, I shall not forgive anyone who does not follow them, and I shall punish him. So I know that in today's material world, the kind of things have changed, like people, even the Brahmanas also, they're like totally different. But I think as far as possible, we try to follow the instructions, what has been mentioned in, because this is directly taken from Srimad Bhagavatam. What sets aside Vaishnavas from ordinary people is that they had to become more humble, they had to be more forgiving, they had to be more kind, they had to be learn to more tolerate. So sometimes when we get angry and say like, how do I tolerate, when I'm treated like that? Then at that time, you can remember this Krishna Katha, and we can remember the instruction where Krishna himself said, I cannot forgive anybody. Because when Krishna says, I shall not forgive anyone who does not follow with him, then we should take that to the heart, that I don't want to do anything that will displease Krishna. Because Krishna is saying, I will not forgive and I shall punish him also. So we had to be very, very careful about that, not to displease the Brahmanas. Because if you take the entire Krishna consciousness in one word, what it is called? Samsiddhim Haritoshna, which means do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. So if you want to please Krishna, we have to follow the instructions of Krishna. And what is his instructions? that you should always be kind to the Brahmanas and you should never hurt the Brahmanas or not retaliate against the Brahmanas or even usurp the property of a Brahmana. So Krishna, because he has a beautiful relationship with every Jivatma, we are part and parcel of the Krishna. That is why Krishna is giving us this instruction through his family members, through all the inhabitants of Dwarka, but also to all the Jivatmas. Krishna never talks about only my devotees. Everywhere he talks about Jivatmas, we are part and parcel of the Paramatma. Even we could be atheist, you could be anyone, but he doesn't discriminate. He says every Jivatma belongs to Paramatma. So this is the end of this beautiful chapter called King Nrga. Any realization before we just go into the? I just want to get started off with the next chapter, but I just want to pause. If there are any reflections or anything, would you like to share? Anything would you like to add? Nara Prabhu, Amaga Prabhu ji, Gayatri ji, Hema ji, anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I think we should start new chapter, Prabhu. If we start talking, then we will get stuck with the reflection.
Yeah, I mean, just only for one or two comments, and I just want to move on. But if everybody's fine, then we can just get started off. What do you say, Amaga Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It is very nice, Prabhuji. So just one point, whenever Brahmanas are speaking or doing something like that, when Krishna says one statement that ye Brahmanan mai dhiya kripato.
Prabhuji, we lost you.
Sham Prabhu, when you call Brahmana, Brahmana is Dvija Brahmana or no?
To understand that, if sorry, Prabhuji, if there is any signals.
Yeah, I just couldn't hear you, Amaga Prabhu. If you were talking, we couldn't hear you. You were just mentioning about Brahmana, and after that got cut off.
Yeah, so Brahmanas, when Brahmanas speaking, that we need to understand it is Krishna is speaking through the mouth of the Brahmanas. Even though Brahmana is speaking hardly with harsh words or scolding something like that, then a devotee or anyone who is with smiling faces accepting those words and then trying to please them, then such kind of people are attracting the heart of Krishna.
Because it's one of the qualities that Krishna likes, isn't it? You're
Yes.
learning, well, you're able to tolerate. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful, Prabhuji. Now, Prabhu, you were saying whether you're talking about Brajavasi, Brahmanas, or just Brahmanas in general, right?
Yeah, just wanted to get clarification, Prabhu. When you say Brahmanas, is it Dvija Brahmana means like not by birth, but by thoughts and actions, we call them Brahmanas, or how do we?
Absolutely. That's the way, Prabhuji, because even now, even we've just been classifying based on like people who are born in the Brahmana, this thing. But I think that's the most important thing that we have to, because we are following the Vedic culture, we are following the Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavata, and going by that way, Krishna himself is said, Chaturvanyam Maya system. So we are talking about Brahmanas who are actually right from Dwapara Yuga, or even before that, where Brahmanas were clearly categorized based on their gunas, not by birth, but by gunas and by the quality of the work and by the gunas the work that they do. So it is basically according to the Vedic culture, whatever the qualities that have been mentioned of the Brahmanas, we are talking about those Brahmanas.
Okay, bro. Thank you, bro. Because in today's Brahmanas, they are not 100% follow what is there. So there's a lot of confusion there.
Yeah, the qualities have been very clearly mentioned by Krishna. So those qualities, they apply to the Brahmanas. They would have to be considered how knowledgeable they are, in whether they're following all the gunas that are meant for Brahmanas. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, bro.
Sanchitiji, you were saying something?
Yeah, similar lines what Nagraj Prabhu was saying, Prabhu. Yeah, Krishna has mentioned all the qualities about Brahmanas, but today in ISKCON we see, like, I'm not talking about other organizations, but I mean, when when you get second initiation, you get the Brahmin initiation, and then you can do Pujari service, deity, bhoga, preparing, and all that. But I think they acquire it through academic merits, and of course, it's from past life prarabdha as well. They were meant to do that. We do have feelings. We are not that equipoised and pure. How Krishna wants is pure to abuse their position. So that's not right. Just want to mention that.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
So, generally, whatever the things we would see, it is the Lord is trying to teach us something. One is tolerate, and even though here especially this verse, third canto, 16th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th verse. Prabhuji, if you just open that one in the next page, so
Okay.
whatever we come across, Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 16th chapter, 11th verse.
Yeah. So Bhagavatam 16 canto. Which one? Sorry.
Third canto,
Third
16th
canto.
chapter. So 16th chapter.
Yeah.
And 11th verse.
Yeah.
Sanjita Mataji, would you like to read something? Translation and purport, please.
Hare Krishna, yes, thank you, Prabhu. On the other hand, they captivate my heart who are gladdened in heart and who, their lotus faces enlightened by nectarian smiles, respect the Brahmanas even though the Brahmanas utter harsh words. They look upon the Brahmanas as my own self and pacify them by praising them in loving words, even as a son would appease an angry father, or as I am pacifying you. Prabhu, the purport as well? Or
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, okay. Purport, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It has been observed in many instances in Vedic scriptures that when the Brahmanas or Vaishnavas curse someone in angry mood, the person who is cursed does not take it upon himself to treat the Brahmanas or the Vaishnavas in the same way. There are many examples of this. For instance, the sons of Kuvera, when cursed by the great sage Narada, did not seek revenge in the same harsh way but submitted. Here also, when Jaya and Vijaya were cursed by the four Kumaras, they did not become harsh towards them. Rather, they submitted. That should be the way of treating Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. One may sometimes be faced with grievous situation treated by the Brahmana, but instead of meeting him with a similar mood, one should try to pacify him with a smiling face and mild treatment. Brahmanas and Vaishnavas should be accepted as earthly representatives of Narayana. Nowadays, some foolish people have manufactured the term Daridra Narayan, indicating that the poor man should be accepted as the representative of Narayan. But in Vedic literature, we do not find the poor man should be treated as a representative of Narayana. Of course, those who are unprotected are mentioned here, but the definition of the phrase is clear from the Shastras. The poor man should not be unprotected, and the Brahmana should be specially be treated as a representative of Narayana and should be worshipped like him. It is specifically said that to pacify the Brahmanas, one should be like lotus-like. A lotus-like face is exhibited when one is adorned with love and affection. In this respect, the example of the father being angry at the son and the son trying to pacify the father with smiling and sweet words is very appropriate. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So it's a very beautiful purport, and it is not one side other angle, but it is just for if we understand how much tolerant, how much I have got the feelings towards them, and how I am in a position that Lord is going to be attracted with my behavior. This is only for individual, but opposite side we never bother about it. We respect everyone. Ordinary living entity also we respect. So what to speak of anyone who is engaged in the devotional service. So it doesn't matter for us. But when we look into our heart, how we take it, that is where we uh, try to be to please Krishna. That is the only thing for us. Not everything else, it is not matters to us. It is not in our jurisdiction. It is Krishna's jurisdiction. So
Prabhuji. Yeah. I think
you could add,
Thank,
Prabhuji.
yeah, thank you, Prabhu, for the lovely reference. Srimad Bhagavatam has got Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. It has got all the answers, and Lord has provided us all the answers. Thank you for taking us there and just sharing the right context to my question.
I think, yeah, that's very nice, Amaga Prabhuji. Thank you for just directing us towards that sloka. And I mean, yeah, this is, our devotees. We're just sharing our thoughts and our experiences and all that, isn't it? And that's why I think one the bottom line is like we had to please Krishna, samsiddhim haritoshnam. So if Krishna says like this is how we want his devotees to be, and to please Krishna is what we should keep in mind, because at a human level, there's always a chance, because we are so conditioned in this material world, isn't it, that we will always going to have differences. Even when Prabhupada was there, his disciples, they would sometimes disagree with each other. And Prabhupada always said, if you have any kind of love with them, just work together. The best way you can please me is by working together with each other for my this thing. So if you can keep in mind our Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and if we can keep in mind that this is going to be please Krishna, and this is going to be we are doing this for the pleasure of Prabhupada. If you remember the higher goal, maybe that's when we'll be able to tolerate. Otherwise, it's quite natural that that sometimes we may get upset, and there are situations that I'm definitely that may happen anywhere that we are trying to serve Krishna. And here also Krishna, in fact, he mentions very clearly that I advise you that even if a Brahmana becomes angry and calls you by ill names or curses, you should not retaliate. So we just going by, after all, everything that is being mentioned in Vedas, it's coming from Krishna. So Krishna himself is personally giving us this direction, saying that just learn to tolerate them, just offer a smile and offer your obeisances, and just do not retaliate. So we are just keeping in mind what Krishna is mentioning, and this is very much in tune with what Prabhuji has mentioned here, that just try to pacify them and praising them in a loving word. You can always return back those kind of things by a nice word. I see sometimes, like, we all have our experiences, isn't it? When you're doing seva, definitely that's going to happen, because everybody's in a different level of consciousness. Some people are mature, some people are immature, some people are learning. It's just like a yoga ladder. Everybody's trying to learn, and by that experiences and all that. But I think real humility and all this, we will grow much in the spiritual life. We'll learn to just tolerate them and just take it in our stride, and just keep in mind that this is what Krishna likes. Krishna likes that I don't retaliate. Krishna likes that I bear with it, because he mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, so I'll just follow the instructions of Krishna. So again, we have to keep in mind that when Krishna Katha is setting the highest standards of this is what is expected from the devotees and all this. So we are all trying to, that's why I was saying, we are all aspiring devotees. We are trying to learn, so that at least we know that if that's the benchmark and that's what Krishna likes us to do, we work towards that. It's not that tomorrow we can become a Valmiki or something like that, but we can learn, keep these things in our mind. Because many times even I get tempted. I'm like, why are you talking to me like that kind of thing, Because people so easily in today's world, they just throw a comment at you, and you'll be wondering, like, what did I do? Why am I just, somebody's talking like this, But I think that's why Krishna Katha is so important for us, because we try to learn to see what makes Krishna happy. What does Krishna want us to do? And according to that, follow the instructions. Actually, I was just thinking that maybe I was just getting ambitious to start off a new chapter, but we just entered into 9. I was seeing the time, actually, because we were just 5 minutes into 9, and I was just trying to be a bit ambitious. But I think we will start the next chapter maybe fresh as the next chapter next Thursday. So we will get into the readings of Lord Balaram visiting Vrindavan. Again, beautiful pastimes, as we seen, like another beautiful pastime. So we covered one chapter, we seen what's the lessons learned, and then we are going into the next chapter. So I'll just, in the interest of respecting everybody's weekly time, I'll stop here, and we will, because it's 9:07, and then we will just carry on with the next this. And also, just to keep in mind, we have Janmashtami coming up in a few weeks from now. It's August 16th and 17th. I'm so excited. I'm just waiting for the beautiful day. Nagaraj, myself, we are already been given our seva to serve in the Goshala. So we will be the 2 pundits over there. Last week, somebody was already calling Pandit, and we were looking back. Who is he calling? Then we realized. I mean, this is the beauty about Krishna. This is my personal realization of Krishna. When we are serving Krishna, it's just like we pray to Krishna. Krishna, give me some service. But Krishna is even more excited or ambitious about giving us even more bigger services that we can do. And this is what has happened to me through 2 years back when I prayed just to give some service, and he gave me this Go Puja, and we did 111 Go Pujas last Janmashtami. So with all your blessings, hopefully myself and Nrga Prabhu will continue doing that this Janmashtami as well. Our only motto is that anybody who is coming to see Krishna in Janmashtami, we should give them the best of the best experience so that they go back happy. That yes, our Go Pujas done nicely. So if you have time, you should just drop by, because we're always at the entrance. So you can't miss us. So yeah, anything else anybody would like to share?
Yeah, can I say Prabhu anything? Never mind.
Yes, Vrindavan Prabhuji, please.
Yeah.
You are from Vrindavan.
It's Brahmana Gunagun is best, is good. I heard about Brahmana, and I also I'm not Brahman, but I not qualified. But one of my duty then Ratha Jatra time. Lot of people asking to, oh, you are Brahman, you are Pujari, giving prasad, but there is a control. There is not allowed to giving prasad for anybody, because I am the control inside. You know what I mean? Because then anybody, hey, you can give prasad, and then no, I'm not giving. But what again? My pressure, this authority pressure. Don't give anything about the. You want to do your job, you're working, you work. Your job finish, you finish. Not any distribute, because their council not allowed to giving everyone single person to prasadam. Also, my opens to many devotees. Yeah, I am not Brahman, but that's everyone thinking how he is Brahman. Because
yeah, this is the mercy of Krishna, isn't it, Prabhuji? He always wants to glorify his devotees, put them in a higher position, and this is what I seen actually from Krishna. Krishna likes his devotees to be elevated. He likes his devotees to be glorified, and that's what we see, right?
That Sanchita Mataji just question. That's the Janmashtami time, men are coming devotee. But sometime gathering people, that's not controlling the pujari, and you know what I mean? That what you're talking about there. And also same in Ratha Jatra time, everyone asking you, Pujari, you giving prasad, your hands I need to prasad, because that authority is permission. I can't give anything about to only single person to prasadam. Then everyone thinking very badly, but what I can do, this is my that's a problem. I heard all the time, this Bhagavad Gita 42 number sloka, but I can't follow the sloka. That's a big problem about that. The Bhagavad Gita 42 number sloka, Prabhuji, this Bhagavad 18 at the 18 chapter.
Yeah, Moksha Yuga. Yeah.
Now 42 number sloka, I can follow that thing in the Ratha Jatra time. That's very apologize. Very
Yeah, definitely, Prabhuji. We all just endeavor to do the best that we can for Krishna, isn't it? And I mean, sometimes I know what you're saying. Like sometimes it could be like, we had to follow certain procedures and certain processes, and sometimes that may upset people. Like you are not able to give for something. Yeah, but that's understandable. I only say one thing, that as long as we explain to people reasonably, I think people normally they try to understand. Unless there could always be some people, some exceptions, isn't it? There will always be somebody. Yeah, definitely, Prabhuji. So I think.
But one thing I among us, I didn't meet before, talking, classing, very nice, beautiful, Sanskrit, he's, how did you, contrast his language, Sanskrit. Every word is a Sanskrit, among us is very good. I am Brahman, I'm not Brahmana, but I can't say, Sanskrit language is very difficult for me. That. Thank you, Amanga Prabhu. I meet you on Tabalka Square and Ratha Jatra. So thank you. Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Yeah, it's so nice when all the devotees we meet, isn't it? Like especially on festivals and things like that. It feels like a sense of, because in the material world, like friendships are based on some material desires, based on some common selfish interests. There could be so many reasons why in the material world. But the beauty in the spiritual world is that, with the devotees, we have a common goal, just to please Krishna, and we're just supporting each other. And it's something which is so joyful. You just meet each other and just enjoy serving Krishna together, isn't it? Even though we are working, all of us are doing different sevas in different areas. So I'm just I really look forward that we have a wonderful Janmashtami again next month as well. Hopefully, Gayatri ji, someday you visit us in UK, and we'll be your tour guide for Mana.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. That will be our pleasure, Prabhuji. Hopefully one day Radha Gokulananda and Radha Landaneshwar will invite us to their place, hopefully.
The desire the desire is there. Definitely, it will happen, Gayatri ji, because I have seen. I was sometimes they just call me. I'm always a plan B. Like so if somebody is not there, then they'll call me and say, "Shyam Prabhu, can you take some visitors? They just come from Brunei. There was one devotee who came from Brunei. Somebody has come from somewhere New Zealand. We keep meeting so many people from different walks of and different countries altogether. So I won't be surprised if suddenly I may get a call from the reception saying somebody called Gayatri just come from Canada. Please, can you take show around? But that would be
that will be nice, Prabhuji. Yes, that will be my dream come true, Prabhuji. Yes.
Definitely, Krishna will make it happen. We never know. Krishna can make anything possible. That's his leelas, that he always makes with his devotees. And as our desires turn from material desires into spiritual desires, Krishna will always reciprocate, right? That's what he says, like, Ye yatamam prapadyante tam sthaiva bhajamyam. According to our faith and our love for Krishna, Krishna also reciprocates. So, Hemaji, I'm not sure which area you're serving for Janmashtami, but hopefully we'll cross paths.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. I think we will be singing in one of the tents somewhere.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, we have got a slot. So
it's very nice.
I'll see you there. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely. And please come to Goshala as well.
Yeah, I will visit you. And one more thing wanted to ask. Is Indulekha Mataji here in England or London?
I have no clue. I think
yes, Mataji. She's in London now, Mataji. She is in London, yes.
Okay. If there's anyone coming from outside and coming to Manor, if she's there, I think Gayatri, along with you, Indulekha Mataji, I joined one of the session, I think.
Yes.
If she's coming to Himaji, if she's around the weekend, if you're meeting in Manor, please let us know. Maybe we can just
sure.
Okay. Definitely. So on that note, just being respectful of your time, 9:16. So we will be meeting again next Thursday. We'll start off with the new chapters because again, it'll be good that all of our devotees can just start with the new one and maybe have some reflections or just keep a mind mentally prepared for Janmashtami, or just read something from Krishna's appearance chapter. That will be nice refresher actually for us to reflect and be ready for Janmashtami. So so thank you everyone for giving your precious time. Always very humbled. Sarup ji, I hope to see you over the weekend and do some kirtan together, maybe if I stay back.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, that will be so much of my pleasure to get your association.
Last year, one of the Sadhavis had a beautiful time singing kirtan as well, so we'll just do that. Okay, Vanchikal.
Yeah, let's all say 3 loud Hari Bols to Shyam Prabhu.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. And Amoga Prabhu as well, because you are such a wonderful Siksha Guru. Like, sometimes we can't find answers and you're just, like the Google, you're there for us to find answers to Shastra.
This is our not AI, but it is SI, spiritual intelligence.
Yeah, so Amoga Prabhu is always like, sometimes when we are bewildered, we won't have answers. We have, like Google, sometimes you have to, every time you have to write ISKCON, Prabhupada, something. Only then you get the right answers, right? websites and all, but for us, we don't have to do that. Amoga Prabhu is there. So yeah,
So
all
this,
glory to your wonderful service. Yeah.
this is our Radha Krishna search engine.
Yeah, rather, yeah, Hare Krishna search engine by Keshav Maharaj, yeah, something like that, yeah.
Haribo.
Thank you so
Hari
much.
Bol.
Thank you very
Hari
much.
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari
Everyone.
Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hari
Ramanga Prabhu ki jai.
Yeah.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Always to all the devotees, always to Shyam Prabhuji, Vrindavan Prabhuji, Sanchita Mataji, Nisha Mataji, Swarup Prabhuji, Vijay Krishna, Nagaraj Prabhuji, Hemlata Mataji, Gayatri Always, all the devotees make, in order to prepare such engine, we need the staff, we need engineers, most engineers. So you're all like that. So just you're preparing this one. It come to a program to execute when time comes. Thank you so much. And all Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, Gurus, Vaishnavas, everyone. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.